Oh, 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 WrestleMania. Yeah, this is our life. Night 1 was way fucking better than this. I'm John Rentham with my review of WWE WrestleMania 37 Night 2 on the Cock Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, the last two matches are good. There were a couple other good moments sprinkled throughout the show, but it was like Vince McMahon gave us a whole bunch of good stuff on Night 1. And a couple things I didn't like, but of course everything is subjective and everybody likes different things and dislikes different things, but yeah, I really wasn't enjoying Night 2. Now, I thought the last two matches actually delivered pretty damn well, but it was like some of the matches just felt like they just weren't quite allowed to go into second gear, and some of the matches were really goddamn short. There were a couple matches that were like, holy shit. The Intercontinental Championship match was really short, and thank God the first match was, but let me know what you guys have to say, because I just wasn't feeling this one. I got some criticisms, and I'll have some shocking praise, or not shocking praise, depending on how long you've been watching this channel. So, cock-off panel, and I know kick-off panel, but they're on Peacock, so I'm going to make a lot of cock jokes, because why the hell not? Kayla, poor Kayla, having to deal with Booker, Lawler, JBL, and Rosenberg. Video package on Stephanie, along with the WWE superstars helping the Tampa Bay community heroes, because philanthropy is the future of marketing. It's the way brands are going to win. Stephanie basically admitting about 6 years ago, at this time, that the WWE charity stuff is just PR, and because they're run by heartless bastards. Now, I'm not saying the wrestlers don't care about the charity. I actually think they do. But really, Stephanie, why didn't you just, let people believe that you actually gave a shit about helping out people? I really don't think they do, honestly. And I'm not saying that WWE's always been run by great people, but holy fucking shit. Like, it's really hard to support people that, oh yeah, we're at Trump's inauguration, but you know what? I love the wrestlers, and I'm going to continue to support them. Pretty certain I'm probably going to get a lot of people pissed off at this review because I just don't fucking care anymore. So, everyone talks about Riddle wrestling barefoot, like Kevin Von Erich. But what about Kerry Von Erich, especially before 1986 when he had both feet on the ground? So, Booker mentions Asuka's catchphrase, nobody really wants Asuka. No, that's not it. It's not even close, Booker. Just admit you don't care about the product. Let's see if Lawler gets it. Are you ready for Asuka? Close. Missed it by that much. Also, Lawler makes a comment about, some guy came up and said he was homeless. Oh, go buy a house. Now, I know that comment might have worked maybe in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. It's just, Lawler saying this kind of shit when he's been lucky to even be employed by WWE for the last, 10, 15 years. Kind of laughable that he would say that kind of stuff. Because had Jerry Jarrett not given him, that job all the way back in, what was it, fucking 71, 72 or something like that, probably wouldn't be living in such a lavish house, with the whole Batman motif and stuff like that. Seriously, he has a goddamn replica of the Batmobile. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, Lawler should thank his lucky stars and count his chickens and whatever other, cliche you want to go with, that he has the goddamn career and has, the goddamn life that he has, because he was never really all that good in the ring. And I'm going to say that and open myself up to a whole bunch of criticism because I never got it with Jerry Lawler. Great talker, though. Love that feud with Bret Hart. And so they didn't talk about the Nigerian drum fight, and oh boy, I wanted to hear Hulk Hogan announce that, because I would have loved to have heard Hogan struggle to not say the word that he wanted to say, and when he apologizes for being a racist and changes what he, changes his behavior, modifies his behavior, and grows the fuck up, which he never fucking will, because he's not sorry. He's a racist son of a bitch, and he's gonna be humiliated for it, and he should be. Be careful what you say on camera, brothers. That's not an apology. What do you do with a drum? You beat it. Stone Cold Steve Austin used that same mindset in his relationships, because Stone Cold Steve Austin is one of the biggest draws of all time, but still. And remember when Logan Paul filmed a dead body in the Japanese forest, and he should be humiliated for that to the point where maybe he just, goes the fuck away and never, gets into the public eye again, because he should be humiliated along with his goddamn brother. He should be. And that's fucking revolting. Oh, we all do stupid shit when we're young. Yeah, I've never really filmed a dead body. I really can't say I've done that. I don't think a lot of people did that when they were younger. Even people my age, but even people like around Logan Paul's age. I don't know too many people that filmed a dead body. Yeah, you kids want to see a dead body? Okay, fine. That was on a film. That was not humiliating the Japanese culture like, he did in some video. And yeah, I saw that shit because somebody sent that to me years ago and was like, what do you think of this? I'm like, I think these guys deserve to be, just verbally eviscerated to the point that they just, end up in a pool of, shame. Though they have no shame because, again, he filmed a goddamn dead body. Anyway, so JBL talks about conspiracy theories and the deep state. It's funny that JBL talks about, snowflakes and stuff like that, yet will block anybody that disagrees with him. Reminder that JBL was only WWE champion for so long because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesdays, and Vince McMahon was so enamored with JBL, helping him get a lot of money in the stock market. That had to have been a reason because JBL was not all that good in the ring. He never was. Ron Simmons carried him. But honestly, it's really, really silly to hear this kind of stuff. Like, JBL, just admit that you're a goddamn racist piece of shit and that you're a goddamn idiot. Just admit that. Oh, wait, you have constantly. That's why you deserve to be humiliated. So, Ashlyn Kraft does Deliverance the Beautiful. At least it sounded like the Deliverance theme. What the fuck was this? I have nothing against her. I never want to hear this again. I hate country music. The roster's on the stage. We get the same video package from Night 1. They did the same thing for Night 2, or Night 1 and Night 2 last year. Okay, is what it is. And then Tyson Hogan as Pirates. Hulk wants to plunder Brooks' booty, that is. That's easy for me to say, and yeah, it's how he feels about his daughter. His own daughter. Take a look at his wife. Well, his wife that isn't Linda Hogan, because she's a goddamn piece of shit as well. And Nick Hogan, who hopefully is going to get, what's coming to him as far as karma for, basically crippling a guy by driving bad because he thought that, he was invincible, except he fucking wasn't. Hulk Hogan basically got, booed a lot. Every time Hulk Hogan said anything, they had to pipe in the fake cheers. Now, I know they only had about, 26,000 people there or something like that in like a 70 or 80,000 seat stadium, which makes sense. Social guidelines and all that. Except, some of the people weren't wearing masks because they were goddamn idiots. And you know what? And gotta say this much. Even if you got the vaccine, you might want to wear a mask because there are a lot of idiot people out there. And boy, there were some on this show. So, yeah, Hulk got booed a lot and he should have gotten booed. And, oh, you're going to make me walk the plank, Titus? Oh, God, I wish he would. I hate Hogan's guts. Yeah, he did a lot for wrestling, but you know what? He has damaged his own legacy. He buried a whole lot of people, and he's a racist son of a bitch. An admitted racist that doesn't want to modify his behavior. So Orton has his entrance, and he's in white. Oh no, he's in white. What the hell? Edge was in white later. Rated RKO reunion? Nah, it was just a coincidence. He didn't vomit up black goo. Then we cut to the bullshit video package with The Fiend and Orton. I have not liked this. I know some people have liked this. That's fine. If you guys like it, fine. I don't like this. I think it's stupid. I think this is worse than the worst Conjuring Universe movie, which was Annabelle 2014, even though some would make the case for The Nun. Annabelle 2014, though, really bad. It was good for the first 30 minutes. Then the blood went into the doll's eyeball, and it was all over right there. Spooky, crazy devil skeletons send shivers down my spine. So anyway... So the Fiend has shed his skin like a snake. It's the fiendish snake. The snake is back. Yeah, he's no longer burned. And he just does this through some of the weirdest special effects I've seen. And we get, a box-like structure because Michael Cole can't call it a Jack-in-the-Box. I guess because that's patented or because he doesn't know what the fuck a Jack-in-the-Box is. Maybe a Jack-in-the-Box killed his parents. I have no goddamn idea. Maybe he's afraid the Dolphin Dead Silence will pop out. Maybe Michael Cole's just a goddamn idiot that's a goddamn atrocity and embarrassment to wrestling commentary and should have never been hired to do wrestling commentary. I'm not against him earning a paycheck, but he's really bad at his job. He's humiliating to listen to. He is absolutely 100% humiliating. I hate the fact that he is on television. I can't wait for the day that he's gone. And the day he goes into the WWE Hall of Fame, the WWE Hall of Fame loses what remaining credibility it has, and don't worry, I'll get to that. So, Alexa's box is a bit wider than I expected. Yep, had to make one joke here. So, Fiend in a box. This is stupid, abhorrent, ridiculous, box-like structure, says Michael Cole. I gave this a chance before I, crapped on it. Because I was like, okay, maybe they'll do something. They have this giant box there. Fiend versus Orton. The stupid red light's back. And I'm out. The red light worked for Kane initially, but it didn't stay around forever. It doesn't add anything to it. It's like watching a Virtual Boy. And if you remember anything about the Virtual Boy, if you're an old school gaming fan like I am, and if you're old like I am, then you will remember the Virtual Boy being absolute shit. This is one of the worst opening matches in Mania history, and I take that back, one of the worst Mania matches in history. And if people liked it, that's fine. I'm not saying you guys can't like it. This was embarrassing. This was worse than their Mania 33 match. I mean, there were no bugs being projected on the goddamn match. And then they're fighting a little bit while the red light goes on, and oh, the Fiend sitting back up and all this. This is stupid. Absolutely stupid. The Fiend may be one of my least favorite characters outside of the Great Okan in wrestling. And it's just Bray in a spoopy mask. Cue the Malibu Stacy thing, but she's got a new hat. That's what it is. It's Bray Wyatt in a spoopy mask. Can anybody name, like, outside of, like, 2014, can anybody name any great Bray Wyatt matches? Seriously, I'm not saying that there aren't any. I would love to know your guys' thoughts on that, because Bray Wyatt has underdelivered in the ring for many, many years. Now, I know that he did a tribute to Brody Lee, because Brody Lee was his friend. Instead of doing Yowie Wowie, he did yeah. That was nice. I will admit that was nice. And rest in peace, Brody Lee. Taken way too soon. And that's great that they were friends. As far as a match, though, this is bad. Alexa, is sitting on the box and starts, leaking black goo from, pads in her helmet and everything. It's like, it's like a car at that time of the month or whatever. Black goo, and then RKO for 3. Oh no, Alexa controls the Fiend, and now she's too powerful for him and stuff like that. And this is stupid. This is really stupid. I nearly turned the show off. I actually nearly said, you know what? I'm out. I nearly just said, I'll watch the rest of the show tomorrow. Honestly, this was as bad as the Fiend, or, the Fiend showing up during Orton versus Alexa. This might have actually been worse. I didn't care who won. I expected the Fiend to win, and he didn't. Oh no, Alexa controls him and this kind of stuff. And this isn't wrestling. This is not entertainment. I hate it. All right. We get the Pirates and Eric Bischoff. Bayley shows up. I don't know why this was done to Bayley. Oh wait, Bayley was just being humiliated. Now granted, Bayley's all about business, and she did a good job being the butt of jokes here. Stop thinking about Bayley's butt, by the way, Alfredo Reyes 24. I know you're thinking about, I'm calling you out because you're a cool guy, you're a cool mutual, and I have to do it. It's kind of like when I called Kier Johnson 97 out for, staring at Liv Morgan, respectfully, of course, respectfully, and you were staring. Don't lie. You lie if you say you weren't staring. So, Shayna and Nia versus Natty and Tamina, women's tag titles. I love Natty. I don't know why they were cheering for Tamina, but this was ridiculous. They started chanting CM Punk at one point, which I'm like, yeah, maybe not having crowds for 13 months wasn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, look, I get it. And this match didn't really have much of anything. Natty's ankle got targeted. Nia's beyond careless. She dives on both of them, where they waited about 18 years for her to do the dive. And then missed splash by Tamina and sharpshooter to Nia. And then the clutch on Natty for the win. The chance retained. Okay. What was the point of this? Was it just to get women on the card? I'm not against the women getting on the card and getting a Mania payoff. This was stupid. And then JBL joins commentary for this match. The crowd pops for Zayn's entrance. Let's go! That was kind of cool to hear. And then Logan Paul got booed, which he should have been. They should have been allowed to throw trash at him until he left. And all humiliated and everything, and maybe just, went away and maybe figured out why the fuck, am I so stupid? Oh, right, my parents are the end result of 3 generations of inbreeding, so God, I'm just never gonna get out of this, am I? And Logan Paul deserves to be humiliated and, lambasted and all kinds of words that I can't even say on here because I don't want to get banned, but he really does deserve every bit of humiliation. Oh, he's done good stuff or whatever. Yeah, you can overcome the racist stuff. You can overcome the homophobic stuff if you change your behavior. Filming a dead body in a famous forest where people, go to, unfortunately, pass away. And you know what forest? No, I'm not going to forget that, and nor should anybody else. Owens versus Zayn with Logan Paul. They couldn't just let these guys have a match. Here's the problem. I've also seen this match 1,000 times. So all the stuff they did in Ring of Honor, they did the thing at Battleground 2016. And they have good matches. They pulled out some good stuff here. But the crowd was all just heckling Logan Paul. It did nothing. It took the steam out of what these guys could have done. Now, granted, had Logan Paul not been there, I don't know how much better this match would have been received. It wouldn't have been received any worse, obviously. We get the, Fisherman's Buster off the top. And we get a twist plex by Owens. We get some really, really good stuff. Apron plex, the hardest part of the ring. And it looks like Zayn's going to win like he did at Battleground 2016 with a Helluva Kick. No, super kick stunner. 1, 2, 3. And then Logan shoves Zayn down, which just causes more boos. Zayn's supposed to be the heel, by the way, and he got cheered quite a bit. And then Corey says that, that it's despicable. Says the guy who left his wife and kids for a burnt piece of, beef jerky. And yeah, I'm going to call her that because she's a goddamn homewrecker, and Corey Graves is a piece of shit. And his widow brain all hurt, and that's why he couldn't wrestle anymore. And yeah, head injuries suck, but guess what? It's starting to think maybe Corey, being out of the ring isn't the worst damn thing in the world. And he's lucky that he lucked into a goddamn commentary job because he's adequate at commentary at best. He hasn't been any good since leaving NXT. So then, by the way, Owens stuns Logan Paul. I hope he kicked him extra hard and jerked down on his neck there just to teach him a little bit of a lesson. Because I hate Logan Paul and I hate the mere fact that his parents reproduced. You should have gone the mommy dearest route if you know what I mean. Anyway, Khali and Riddle and RVD. At least RVD's blow-up doll wasn't there, I'll say that much. Katie Forbes, goddamn embarrassment to professional wrestling. The fact she was ever allowed to be in the ring is humiliating. And RVD and Riddle make pot jokes. And Khali, I got nothing against Khali. I mean, he wasn't a great world champion and he looked confused a lot. But to be fair, English is his second language. But he seems like a nice guy. Why was he there? Genuine question. He did, the Hall of Fame via video. Why was he there? Is he filming a movie? Like, genuine question. Why are there birds in Riddle's entrance? Genuine. Is it a bro-demic? Is that what it is? Are we going to get Rod from Birdemic here? Are we going to get coat hangers and just do this stuff? If you haven't seen Birdemic, you probably have no goddamn idea what I'm talking about. U.S. title match, Riddle versus Sheamus. They are feuding because Sheamus hit Riddle with his scooter, that is, 3 weeks ago. They are fighting over a shampoo thing that I tend to share about Booker and Edge. Because it's as stupid of a reason as this. Why is Cole calling a Raw match? Apparently Tom Phillips is off of Raw commentary. He might be out of the company. I have no idea. I don't know who's replacing him. I got told by a good friend of mine, but I can't remember the name. I do remember hearing him and thinking, well, this guy isn't going to be very good. Maybe I'll be wrong. So, belly to belly off the top. The action was good. I just didn't care because Riddle and also, Sheamus did some good stuff here. He did eventually, pick things up. Got a knee strike for 2. Riddle with the jackhammer because he's bound determined to face Goldberg. Goldberg's probably going to fight at not WrestleMania, obviously, because it's over, but he'll probably fight at SummerSlam. And be blown up before he gets to the ring. Apron bump, bodies everywhere. Cole, we are in the middle of a pandemic, seriously. So Sheamus is going to do white noise off the ropes. He slips, recovers, good stuff. Didn't snap an ankle. That could have been bad. He recovers and hits that. Gets a knee for 2. Bro kick for 3. New champion, Riddle's bleeding. Oh, that's just too damn bad. Yeah, geez. Maybe beat the no means no out of you, Riddle. So, allegedly, of course. Triple H hands, Bad Bunny and Mike for his 2022 tour. Okay. I gotta say this. Check out my WrestleMania 1 review. or WrestleMania Night 1 review, that is. I had, a shocking amount of praise for the Bad Bunny tag match. Because it was what it was. It was better than I thought it would be. Wale wraps Big E to the ring. Wale is apparently a big fan. I also keep thinking that he's going to be a robot from that Disney movie. Apollo gets the 8KY entrance. Have fun on seeing that. Hey, 8K cameras, Kier Johnson 97. You love those. Big E versus Apollo. Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental Championship. An ancient Nigerian tradition. Ancient Chinese secret. We need more Calgon. That's why the breakaway tables and kendo sticks are there. Going, gong. That's some great symbolism there. I'm going to make a lot of puns because this was bad. This was really bad. And I had no problem with the end result. You really could have put this on SmackDown. I'm glad these guys got a payoff. This is bad. Why were there so many green drums? Uranagi on the steel steps to Apollo. By the way, the spear the Big E does. Really, really bad. Really bad idea. Please stop doing that. The table splash misses. And then suddenly, the former Babatunde, a.k.a. Dabakato, a.k.a. why the fuck did they keep changing his names? Why was he in some kind of weird dollar store general, jacket, whatever the hell that was? Is it the last Babatunde of Scotland? Hopefully nobody's hung up by hooks. If they do that to Big E, those are going to have to be some strong goddamn hooks. That scene in The Last King of Scotland still frightens me to this day. Great performance by Forrest Whitaker. Now, this just wasn't... I was happy for Apollo. He got a lot of pyro. Shit, he got a lot of pyro. And I still wanted to hear Hulk Hogan talk about the Nigerian drum fight, because you know what he wanted to say. So, get your vaccine unless you're an insurrection supporter, or you deny the virus exists, or you're an anti-masker, like some people in the crowd. You're all fucking idiots. I'm not saying that, vaccines are... I'm not saying that, you get it right away and cut in line, but get your vaccine. Get your fucking vaccine. Let's try to beat this goddamn thing. And if you don't believe it, you're fucking idiot. Get out of Fox News. That's all I'm going to fucking say. Moving on. 2021 Hall of Fame class. Cole, they were able to take their rightful place in the Hall of Fame. He apparently was possessed by Hogan there. RVD in the Hall of Very good. RVD was a great athlete. I don't know if I would have put him in the Hall of Fame, but he's a great athlete. Khali, I mean, for the India market. Molly Holly, who still looks incredible. Eric Bischoff. Ozzy Osbourne. Sharon! Does Ozzy know where the fuck he's at? Has he known where the fuck he's at since 1980? Rich Herring, rather. With a herring! And Kane, who headlines the class inadvertently. So, now for Rhea versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Ash Costello, easy for me to say, is beautiful and can sing. In studio, this was not very good. The mic also wasn't turned on at first. She looks great. She does. She really does. This wasn't good. She just screamed a lot, which kind of is her music, but she actually can sing, and it just wasn't good. Rhea, though, she looks like $1 million goddamn dollars. I am in love with Rhea Ripley. She is awesome, beautiful, striking. She has a great look, and she is going to be the future, and she's going to have a bright future in Hollywood. Seriously, she looks like $1 million, and she carries herself like a star. I love Asuka. Asuka's not been the same since obviously getting her tooth kicked out, and probably suffering a concussion because of an inadvertent kick by Shayna Baszler. And I think that's why they pulled the trigger here like they did, because things picked up. We got fisting and scissoring between two women moving on. Rhea heals it up. The crowd was at times, invested, and then other times, I think I heard some boring chants. So I'm like, really? You don't say boring during the other matches. You say this. DDT on the floor by Asuka. Holy shit. Rhea, what are you doing? What the hell? That was a great spot, though. Great goddamn spot. And then suplex over the ropes by Rhea. And then we get the cloverleaf, a bit later. That was really good stuff. I mean, I love that standing cloverleaf. I think I saw that position between two women in a movie once. Always delete your search history, kids. So, kicks. We got, some really, really good stuff. Rhea looked like she might be down. Looked like Asuka might have popped one of her boobs. Just popped him, just kicking her in the chest. But it looked like Asuka might win. Nope, she got caught. Riptide. 1, 2, 3. New Raw Women's Champion. Really, really good shit. Really good shit. I enjoyed it. Now, I can understand why some people might not liked it. And Bianca versus Sasha was the better match, but I enjoyed this. I thought this was a lot better than it had any right to be, only because the build was not all that great. They tried with it, but it was so quick and so sudden. They had to deliver. They did. That DDT on the floor was brutal. And Rhea Ripley hopefully can have a long run, at least to Survivor Series. Give her the championship for a while, which means she's probably going to lose it to Charlotte if Charlotte comes back at WrestleMania Backlash. Why are they calling it WrestleMania Backlash? We know that Backlash is when people get revenge at WrestleMania because that's how it works. But seriously, guys, what the fuck? So, recaps of the Orton Fiend match. One hardly needs to go on. More Titus and Hogan. Dubbed in cheers for Titus. Now we get Bayley here. She gets pyro. Holy shit, she gets a lot of pyro. She's cutting Hogan down. She's cutting Titus down. Says that she, talking about all the women and everything. Just talking about how she's great. And then the Bellas show up. And I'm just going to say right now, if you like the Bellas, and by the way, I actually didn't mind a couple matches on the show. If you like the Bellas, fine. There is no good reason for the Bellas to be on a wrestling program in 2021. Oh yeah, they're, Hall of Famers. Congratulations. There are other people that are Hall of Famers that, don't deserve to be there, and I don't think the Bellas deserve that. That being said, if you like the Bellas, great. And I wish them nothing but the best, raising their families and being healthy and everything. I have no desire to see them back on WWE television in any way, shape, or form after this. This is humiliating. It wasn't beneficial to Bayley at all. She got tossed down the goddamn stage. Yes, Bayley said the line to Nikki, oh, John Cena's not here. Okay. Even I gotta admit that at this point, they broke up in what, 2018? Or was it later 2017? Genuine question. I'm actually trying to remember. Nikki's happy with whatever the Artemis Fowl, I think. Wait, that's that bad Disney movie. I mean, I don't know if you're named Artemis, then maybe you might have some issues. Maybe your parents should have not named you after a really bad Disney movie. Anyway, I digress. I don't care, though, outside of that. I'm not saying that line was necessarily, necessary, but I get why Bayley did that. She did it for a reaction. She got a reaction. But here's the thing. The Bellas, I don't care. I don't care to see them anymore. There are people that do. That's fine. The only reason I'm going on about this is they plagued TV for a few years. I don't need to see them plaguing TV again. And this did nothing for Bayley. So, We get Daniel Bryan with an entrance. Typical Edge gets his entrance with a pop, and he's all in white. Oh no, Randy Orton's going to help him? No, he didn't. Roman gets a lot of pyro, and I mean a lot, and a pepper necklace. Apparently he's going to Chili's, baby back ribs, barbecue sauce. Edge versus Roman versus Bryan three-way match for the Universal Championship. Jay is instantly in this and then gets taken out with an impaler on the steps. Doesn't get impaled on the steps. That would have been messy. But Michael Cole constantly explaining how Triple Threat works because once again, Michael Cole's really bad at his job and I can't wait for the day where he's gone. And maybe, I don't know, apparently somebody told me he has a kid, which is frightening to think about. Vintage Cole! I hate him. I absolutely hate him. I don't want the man to die. I don't want the man to get injured. I just don't want him on my television. I hate him. He is an embarrassment to wrestling commentary. He needs to be chased just out of WWE, at least off camera. Have him produce. Have him just sit there in catering. Vintage catering! Anyway, we get, a counter into an impaler by Edge. We get some really good stuff here. We get the Mission Impossible, bike, motorcycle, crash thing that Doug Ray Scott, I think it was Doug Ray Scott and Tom Cruise did, where they dive off the motorcycles, they crash into each other, the motorcycles explode, and then they're on the ground instantly fighting. Logic, I think John Woo directed that, so that makes sense. So there was some good stuff here. Bryan was taken out a couple times. Bryan does some good kicks, though. He gets a yes lock on Roman. And then Edge breaks it up, and then we get a yes lock on Edge, broken up by Roman, and then a bomb on Edge where he just throws Bryan onto Edge, and then we get a bomb to Bryan through the table. Oh no, where is Roman going to get head at the table? And then Edge spears Roman off the steps. We get a concerto, stopped. Oh no, we get a crossface from a Canadian who won the Royal Rumble match at from the number one position. And he's in a triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania. The symbolism is not fucking lost on me. Hopefully, hopefully Beth and the kids will be okay. Because, oh boy, yeah, that was a little bit weird. But anyway, there was then, it was pizza the chair was in Roman's mouth. And then Bryan joins and they do a double crossface. Roman Reigns getting tag team. So much for getting head at the table. And then they headbutt each other, Bryan and Edge do. And then You have a bad neck. He steps on, stomps on him. And then we get spears, and then Bryan pulls the ref out. Oh no, Bryan's pullout game is not so strong because he has 2 kids, but it is what it is. Then we get concerto to Bryan. Jay runs back in because we can't have enough interference in these matches. And then spear to Edge. And then we get a concerto, and Reigns covers both of them. 1, 2, 3. That's fucking emphatic. Right there. Thanks for coming, guys. I'm not against it, though. Roman Reigns, I believe, is the first heel champion. If you want to count Seth Rollins in 2016, I guess he does count for that because he was, the last heel champion that, closed WrestleMania, cashing in Money in the Bank, interrupting Reigns versus Lesnar. But other than that, you'd have to go all the way back to WrestleMania 27 for when Miz retained in that match against John Cena when The Rock interfered. And yeah, Miz actually retained. A lot of people forget that. Otherwise, you got to go all the way back to WrestleMania 16. Heels don't retain championships very often. So, I got to say, the Raw Women's Championship, the Universal Championship, 3-way, those were the highlights. There were a couple other moments, but a lot of the show is pretty goddamn bad. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritland. Fuck Hulk Hogan. I'll see you soon.